through. But yeah, maybe we go to the main lobby or whatever and then invite everybody in there.
Sure. Yeah, I've already pinned the announcement as well.
There's Jeff. Anybody know if Katie is coming?
There.
Bro, let me know when you're good. Are you Brock?
Yeah, the stream is on.
That's all good? Patrick, you want to start us off?
Yeah, sure. So hello everybody. Welcome to the AMA. Glad to have everybody here. It's been a very crazy past few days, as we've all seen. You know, we had a crazy run and now we're just kind of cooling off. So we just like to welcome any new investors that are finally joining the project. This AMA is an open forum, so any questions that anybody may have, feel free to put it up. If you're in the Discord, if you're in the chat, in Twitch, feel free to community questions channel on Discord, which we will also be taking questions from. So, if you have any questions, comments, suggestions, concerns with regards to the project, feel free to let us know, and we can most definitely answer those. See. So I do see one question. I think I wanna answer this. From Yamafly on Discord. He asks basically, there's been about 50, 100 trillion holders that have gone over the last few days and none have bought back as they've been tracking the BSC scan. Why is this? Is it a rug or explain otherwise? So I think, this is pretty typical in terms of, let's say you were an investor, right? And you are already at your 20x, 30x, 40x. I mean, everybody wants that in order to be able to sell and profit, right? So of course, like that's typical investor like mindset, right? We're all buying into this to be able to profit. But I do want to remind you that there's very little of these guys as compared to the larger whole that is, our over 60,000 brand new holders from the past like week, right? And if anything, this is actually very healthy for the long-term health of the token. Now, if you were to have, these same people still with over 100 trillion, well, you have the supply centralized, and the longer that actually drags on, the more harmful it could potentially be if they're going to be holding and they're going to be selling at a higher price point, right? So basically, the sooner that these larger holders can kind of die off and decentralize their supply and allow the community to be able to have it, much better for the long-term health of the token. Is definitely not a rug pull. I mean, the definition of a rug pull would be for us to take out the liquidity and leave everybody with like 99% like loss where you wouldn't even be able to sell anything. So it is not at all a rug pull, right? The changes in the price is just from normal price action, investor buying and selling, right? It was a very parabolic move that we had, and when things get parabolic, it always has to come down. There's no such thing as having a forever moon. You're never going to forever keep on going up. You always need to relieve that pressure. And so here we are now where we're at a dip where, if anything, just seeing that, all-time high. And, if you're able to get into this dip and then we do reach that all-time high again, right? You'd be easily 4 to 5 times your money. And also just from an investment standpoint, if you enter really high, then you would of course want to average down to lessen the pain of, having that dip. So at least if you were able to average down, you would also be able to, lower your dollar cost, and you open up basically, your entry from here, you'd be able to profit from any price movements going on upwards.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think I'll go to 26JM's question. It's where are you based? Most of us are based in the U.S. I think Patrick is based in Canada. A few of us are East Coast, and then he's on the West Coast. We have a team of moderators that are based around the world. Make sure to get a lot of international community members to help with moderation at weird hours of the day for us. It is a community-ran project, so I'm sure like our community members are based everywhere. Our moderators are based, different areas to handle the influx of people that we've been getting. How do you plan on showcasing the marine work you're doing? So far, the only way we can really showcase it is through our charity drives, and we have we actually have posted our BSC scan that shows the transaction, the donation to the ocean cleanup. That's really all we can do right now until we develop the project a little bit more to where we can manipulate it to where more of your, say, transactions from merchandising go into the community wallet or to the charity wallet so that we can donate more to charity. Also, I do want to say that every transaction you guys make goes into the charity wallet because it is a holder. So anytime you make a transaction, that charity wallet continues to grow. And that's money we can use in the future to donate into different charity funds. So I think that's a huge thing right now, but we are planning on improving on what we can do. Short and long-term plans for holder growth. Short-term, we have all those listings into CoinGecko. We have all these images and logos we have requested for them to update. There's only so much we can do without blowing up their email, and then they're going to just kind of deny us for spam. So we kind of it's a waiting game at this point for the short-term stuff. We also are trying to get listed on Coinsbit. We're doing a $10,000 donation drive, and that should actually, like, if we can get $10,000 in the next few days, we will be listing on that as early as Monday. And then Whitebit is coming too, and that's going to just open up the door for having a lot more professional, investors instead of maybe more of a pump and dump community that you get with these cryptos. If you get listed on decent exchanges where more professional older investors can get in with $5,000, $10,000 at higher numbers, then that's just creating a better price floor for us. And these investors aren't going to pull out after a little dip or panic sell because this is money that they don't need, that they're just investing with, and they think that this project will grow. And that's who we want to reach out to mainly. We don't want anybody in the community that doesn't think that our project will succeed, because this is a long-term plan for us. We plan on being a very successful cryptocurrency that does benefit and change the world. So it's our long-term plans is just to establish more of those professional investors that do care about our project and do care about our cause. And then how can we help as a community develop this? You can always message us. I have staff applications open all the time. Just send me a DM. I'll try to get to it. I've gotten a lot of influx of people wanting to help out, and the motivation and drive behind these members have been amazing, and I've really appreciated it. Other than that, if you're just a community member that wants to kind of spread the word, Twitter shilling, Reddit shilling, all of that stuff is great. It really does help get the name out there. And if people see the name once or twice, if they see it the third time, typically by then they're going to start trying to invest in it, because it's like, something in their head. When you see the name enough times, it must be getting popular. So if you could just show it out or message me, we can find something for you to do. I've been trying to put people in roles that they've wanted to do, that they think that can cause this project to succeed. And I really want to open up that for anybody that wants to help out. This is a community ran project, and we really like for the community to come up with ideas and ways for us to succeed, and then implement those ideas with us. So anything you can do to help, just let us know.
So this is Cody. For those of you who don't know, I do just want to chime in here. I don't know who all has joined an AMA before, and there's no real way to know. So for those who have, welcome back. And I apologize for any repetitiveness, but I would like to just kind of discuss what our project is when we talk about being a community project and what that means, because there's so many people who don't go out of their way to learn what they're invested in, and it does kind of bog down our progress to have to explain to people who blindly invested what we are doing here. And so I do encourage everyone to look at our resources, look at the links we've given them, look at the website, but at the same time, just to kind of quickly summarize, our admin group, those people that are real people that you see on our website, that is a group of people who have been invested not much longer than you have. We did not plan this project out before it was launched, because we were just investors after launch. There wasn't a 6-month dedication process to getting this off the ground. We literally invested into the project and volunteered our time afterwards to make it a great project. So a little over a week ago, this project was about 2% of the amount of holders that it is now. There were less than 2,000 holders in this project a little bit about 8 days ago. So when we're talking about it being a community project, it means that people who are investing and who are putting all of their faith into us to make things happen. Well, you can see what we've done with just a small group of people. But as we grow, the growth is contingent upon newer investors coming in and bringing skills that we don't have. And that has happened, like Steven said. And that will continue to happen. And, we will shake off people who don't have that intention and don't have any intention to do anything but be here to flip a dollar into two. And that's fine. That there are people, we understand that everyone, as Patrick said, would like to get their money's worth out of this. And that's fine with us. But there's also a cost associated with that when it's a community project. We are in a fluid state of growth. That means that, our growth, as I said, is contingent upon who's working with us, bringing new things to the table. And we've had some really cool ideas spout, just kind of come across our table, so to speak, in the last few days, because we've had new volunteers step up and say, hey, these are the contacts I have, these are the skills I have. So we are working on things that, no one actually expected before. Certainly I didn't expect a week ago. We are working potentially on things that I wouldn't have expected us to be able to work on, just because of the new investors who are donating their time and energy. So I do encourage everyone to kind of, again, look at our resources and figure out what it is they're here for. If it's to turn $1 into $2, and if that doesn't happen today, they're just going to create a negative atmosphere, then you're devaluing your own investment, and you're hurting what we're doing here, which is a charitable cause. So, I would ask you to have some introspective review and decide if you actually want to invest in Aqua Goat, or if you want to invest in a pump and dump scheme, because again, this is not that. So, if you have questions about the history of what it is we're doing here and how we're doing it, I'm always open to having that dialogue. But we can't have it both ways when we're talking about a crypto project. We can't have, well, I just want marketing, but I still care about the cause, but I just want marketing. Well, marketing to the wrong people and having this parabolic activity that we looked at the other day is how we have people getting hurt financially, and that's not what we're here for. We're here to help the planet, and we're here to create a community that ultimately can last a long time and make people believe in a cause that is more valuable than what they see with other cryptos. And generally, even the length of time we've gone so far is much longer than most of the projects I've seen in crypto, because this project has been alive for 3 weeks at this point. And it's still in its initial stages. Again, it's community led. We picked it up, and the roadmap was written not even 3 weeks ago, or less than 3 weeks ago. So it's in its baby stages, and the planning is still fluid. If you have ideas, you're part of the community. That is something you can contribute. And again, sorry for my repetition, but I am saying this to all of the new faces that are hopefully here because they're interested in their investment. And I also just woke up from a nap because I'm very sick. So sorry if my voice is a little muddled.
I actually completely think what Cody said is accurate, and we want to make sure that y'all feel safe in investing with us. I mean, we've both been, especially Cody and I, like we were crypto investors together in multiple projects, and like we were just tired of we both got into SafeMoon, made a good bit of money, turned it around and started getting into other projects that were just straight rug pulls. And I would never want that to happen to this community, because we have been a part of that. We've seen like our money go from, $2,000, $3,000 and then back to zero. And it's just a bad feeling no matter how much money you have invested in, that the project doesn't care about you or the leaders don't care about you enough to care about your investment. And our goal is not is all your investment, but it's also changing the world by saving the ocean. So that's a big part for us. Is this is not just a money scheme for your admins here, or at least the 5 of us here. We're trying to create something that's going to be here much longer after we leave. Say, after we go away and die or whatever, we want this project to continue. This is a long-term thing, and we want this to be a brand recognizable for years to come. The update to the roadmap, we might be able to fill out some updates to it. We do have it checked off on our website. I'll have to make sure it's updated. But we do have a roadmap that has check marks to kind of show you our progress on each thing. I share what we have done to our admin team in our Discord every day so that they can kind of answer your questions in our Discord. But yeah, we do have an update to it, I think, that we can make. Once CoinGecko gets us listed, we can finally check off that box. And I do agree. I think that we should. I kind of am with you on the marketing thing, because I see that I'm mainly asking for a focus to go away from marketing and go back to the product. That's something I personally have been pushing for. That's why I've been pushing for exchanges so hard and trying to kind of guide us in the exchange direction over just getting YouTuber promotions that are going to bring in a pump and dump community. I want those long-term investors that see us with a huge potential to grow.
Yeah, so just to kind of touch on a few things, I think Steven did touch on some, but just to kind of confirm, what's going on with just the immediate kind of inner workings. I won't really get into some of the stuff that I don't know as much about. We do have a marketing team that is, it's being added to personnel wise daily, and I don't know what all the new people are kind of proposing and working on. And again, the more people that are opting to just help and not wait for my permission to go out of their way to find a good tool or good use for their skills. The quicker the project will grow. Like I don't need everyone to come to me and say, hey, can I contact this charity? No, I mean, go ahead and contact them and see if they have something we can work with, and then bring it back to our team. That's fine. So I won't speak on kind of what our marketing team is doing, because I don't actually know what the newer guys are doing and how they're contributing. I know that there's some people that are video editors and things, and working with some with some artists or musicians. There may be some stuff like that I'm just not fully aware of. But as far as what we are working on, as Steven said, our team is working on getting us into exchange at this point. We are paying for that out of our pockets. If anyone would like to contribute, if anyone has suggestions on how to fund additional campaigns for exchanges, I'm all ears. We're happy to accept donations to get that done. Likewise, if you care more about some other facet and you want to donate to that, whether it be marketing or charity outreach, great. Let us know. We are, I believe Patrick can tell me if I'm wrong, but I believe CoinGecko should be working on our request. We've sent it to them, twice at this point. We followed up with them several times, but I believe it is actually being worked on based on what has transpired today. And if I'm not mistaken, the logo would be updated kind of concurrent with CoinGecko listing. I know I think one of our team members, maybe a few of our team members, have been a little concerned about the parabolic activity and the kind of negative impact that it's had on some of our investors who have now either panic sold and believe they've been duped into a scam, or are continuing to hold and waiting for better days, but are still kind of worried about their money, especially if they invested more than they should have. So I know that we do have a team member that is proposed and is starting to work on some kind of educational material, on investing just generally, to try to help people understand where they should be at as far as what is a reasonable investment into Aqua Goat, and just generally, obviously not giving financial advice, but to just kind of tell people what reasonably they can expect from, a sound financial decision versus a reckless gambling decision. We are continuing to work on marketing, and do things that will get AquaGoat out. But we are having kind of discussions, and some community members have brought up to me about the kind of personnel they would like us to market with. And so we are having discussions about that. We do not want to dedicate funds to marketing that isn't within the framework of what we're trying to do. And by that I mean, if a large number of the community want us to market a certain way, we're happy to do that. We can put it to a vote, but I don't want to dedicate funds that are hard to come by to market to a bunch of basically just to put you guys in a place of having more violent swings in trading volume, resulting in massive pump and dump. So if there are, there are a lot of marketers among us. There are a lot of marketers I've been contacted by within the community. So if there are suggestions, I'm not a marketing expert. I leave that up to the people who do have a little more experience. But if there are suggestions in that realm, and if someone would like to put it to a vote as to how we treat marketing, I'm more than happy to do that. But again, there is a fine line between bringing the right type of investors and the type that are going to read about Patrick, for example, in the news article that he's interviewing for regarding AquaGoat. That's a certain type of investor advertising us on TikTok and bringing in the one-day investors who are going to rapidly pump and dump our price. So those are very different things. And again, our goal is to keep this project sustained for a long time, and we can't do that if we are just experiencing a high volume of people that just want to get rich quick. Because really, that all that does is put someone else's money in your pocket, or your money in someone else's pocket, because not everyone is going to be able to cash out. And that's just a simple fact. And like Steven said, we are not here to feel the pain of whether it's a legitimate rug pull like Patrick was talking about, or just perceived rug pull where it's like, well, I lost 80% of my money. I mean, either way, it feels awful. So that is a community question. That is a community-driven question that we need to kind of all be involved with. I could care less about the people who are coming in and fudding and have no intention of being a long-term investor anyway, and what their opinion is. So, those people who are actually listening right now, that are not creating just FUD in the chat for no reason, for those who actually have done their due diligence to invest in a project for the right reasons, or at least with an understanding of what they are doing as investors, I would like to hear those opinions. So, we need obviously an open dialogue and an open forum for those people. The other people that are coming in and coming out and complaining and saying this is what needs to happen, but they've been here 30 seconds and haven't bothered to look at our website. I mean, you may get met with a little bit of resistance, at least from our mods, because they're working day in and day out and have no reason to respond to someone being disrespectful, someone creating unnecessary kind of vitriol in our chats. And it is hard enough managing how many people we have with the few amount of mods who have bothered to volunteer their time, and in my opinion are doing a great job for the most part. So again, I think if anyone has questions about other things that are being worked on, I'm sure I haven't touched on everything, and I'm really only with a small core team, and again, more people joining in every day. I don't want to limit the abilities of our team in the long term, and obviously we have a long-term roadmap, and that's, as I said before, that is a fluid kind of roadmap. It just depends on what people want to bring to the table. Otherwise, we'll get to the roadmap as we get to the roadmap. But as far as prioritizations, that depends on the community. If they want to help us do certain things, if more people want to jump onto our team, completely within their right, and obviously we appreciate all the help we can get. But again, like I said before, this is a community-led project, and I hope I expect I'll continue to have to say that, because there's always people who are coming in asking, where's the dev, where's the CEO, why aren't they doing this, why aren't they doing that? And again, it's because we don't have that. This is a project where the dev does not control the contract. It is announced. We are holding our futures in our own hands. We are volunteering our time to make our investment worthwhile. So I encourage all of you to decide if you want to do the same. If you want to be a passive investor, that's fine. But also remember that when you're complaining that someone's not doing this or someone's not doing that, well, the person that maybe should be doing that may even be a smaller holder than you. So their benefit of doing all these things is probably less than you. So it is in everyone's best interest to consider that 60,000 people doing 0.02% of the work is much more valuable than 20 people all shouldering 5% of the work.
That was good. How did you come up with the name Aqua? So since this is an investor-driven project, the name was already there for us. We saw a pretty good marketability with the name. Also, that means that we can't change the name because the contract is locked to it. So this name can't change. I think it's a great marketable name. And how did you guys meet up and decide to put this together? I think it was day 1 or 2. And I mean, we've only been on this project since April 9th, I would say. Like, we've been investors since the 8th when it came out, but the 9th and 10th is kind of when we started the team together, getting the team together. We were just throwing out ideas, and I actually saw the logo that they had planned for CoinMarketCap, and then that's when I decided to join and become a serious investor and contributor to the team. It was all by chance. It's not like we came together. We all knew each other before. Like, these are only Cody and I have really known each other from before since we've been friends. But I mean, I brought him into the project a week later just so he could help in and fill in where, when we needed help, and it worked out wonderfully. And now he's one of the lead contributors, one of the bigger investors as well. So we all had our different ways of coming into it, and this is not like we all knew each other from before, and we're gonna just pull this rug from under. Like, we are all invested in this. There's a lot of trust involved in these kind of projects, but I mean, we're all trusting each other, and We feel like we've been very transparent and open, and that y'all can trust us as well. What does an ideal productive day look like for the AquaGoat admins and moderators? I can guarantee you everybody's day looks 100% different. We all kind of have our hands in everything as leads here. So we're dealing with, problems that are coming out from people that are scared about the contract, or, messages in Discord or messages in Telegram. That really does take up a lot of our day. We're trying to focus more on the actual product and have more delegation to community members that want to run the community in Discord, instead of being more on the back end, trying to get all of these listings up, talking to Whitebit, talking to Coinsbit. There's also admins that handle strictly marketing. There's moderators that handle strictly Discord or strictly Reddit or strictly Telegram. Everybody's got their own role, and it's really whatever they want to do. We're very open to putting you where you want to be, and also having people that can be there when you're not there, so that it's not only your job, that we can actually, spread the workload around a little bit. We don't want people to be burned out or anything, of course, either. It's all volunteer. No one here is paid. That is a big thing I think that we should harp on. Is, that might be why you get a little bit of resistance from our community, moderators or team members, is because this is all volunteer. They're not getting paid either, and they've been on this project. They believe in this project, and dealing with people that may not believe as strongly or are consistently negative does kind of wear on them as well as it does anybody else. So just keep that in mind when you're talking to any people on our team. I back my team up as much as I can, because I just think that's how, people that are super involved with a project should handle it. You're a team together. You need to stand behind each other. And so just please have respect for the people that are contributing a lot, their time, money, and effort.
So I see somebody asked here in the Discord, how many tokens are burned until this moment, and at what point the burn will stop, and also if we could provide information on the NFTs. So with regards to the tokens being burned, so at launch, 40% were burned. We had an initial supply of 100 quadrillion. And then at launch as well, the ownership of the contract was renounced. As said before, we cannot make any changes to anything. We have no access to liquidity. All of the LP tokens on our end were burned, or sorry, by the developer were burned. And any LP tokens that are generated are also sent to the burn wallet. So there's no possibility of us pulling any liquidity. I understand with SafeMoon, they have access to liquidity. They're able to fund themselves through liquidity. We have no way of doing that. There's no way of us being able to pull anything out. Because with that also, like not to talk bad on SafeMoon, they've obviously made it so far. But there's an inherent risk essentially of a potential rug pull, right? Not saying that they're going to do it, but they have that ability to. So with us, we fixed that portion by essentially locking the contract, renouncing the ownership, burning the LP tokens. The LP tokens generated go to the dead wallet. So there's absolutely no way that we can. Now, at the moment, I believe since launch, we're at about 45 quadrillion burned. So that does also kind of alter the transaction fee distribution. Now, with every transaction, there's 4% fee taken out. 50% of that is taken out as liquidity. And now with it being like 45 quadrillion, the ratio kind of changed to about, I think that's, I don't know, like 20, maybe like 25, 23 or 25% of that 4% is going to be sent to the burn wallet. And then the rest is, redistributed to all holders, right? So since the dead wallet itself is a holder, it is going to be taking a portion of that 5 quadrillion have been burned, and it will continue like this. There's no plans of a manual burn. Please stop asking us about a manual burn. because we're, the only things that we have ourselves is our own investment, our own holds. And think about it like this, right? Those tokens that, people are asking for a manual burn, well, that's essentially throwing money away. We would much rather have a better use of, using those tokens to be able to fund community initiatives, donations, marketing efforts, exchange listings, right? There's so much more that could be possible by actually using the value in those tokens that are being asked to be burned, and instead, reinvesting into the community and allowing the community to grow, through that investment, right? So rather than throw money away, we'd much rather have it be put to use. So with regards to NFTs, we are actively researching this. We're looking into different designs. If anybody is, a graphic artist that's interested in working with us, to be able to get that started. Again, we're, we when we started, right, we created this, or we joined the project as volunteers, and we were able to get a lot done, with just the small team of us. But since this project is growing and starting to get traction, and as we're, starting to delve deeper into, actually getting these use cases, set up, we do also need assistance, and we do also need help. So if there's, a graphic artist here, anybody who's experienced in making NFTs, we have gotten people who have volunteered and kind of said, "Hey, like I know a thing or two." But of course, any help and all help is appreciated. So yeah, we are actively researching into the NFTs. If anybody has a design, certain graphic, if they'd like to, make one or join the team and help us out, would be really, really appreciated, because of course our own capabilities are limited, and as well we're a small team that's doing a lot in the background. I know, every single one of us is kind of, floating around to different areas, touching on different subjects and parts of the project. So we are working on delegating those tasks, and splitting up the work, just so that it's not as drowned out, and that way, each task themselves, would be able to get appropriately focused on with the appropriate resources, with the appropriate people. So yeah, if you have any experience in NFTs, or even just in anything, right? Feel free to reach out. It would be a really great help, to be able to have that assistance. Um, Now that same person that asked about the burn and the NFTs also asked, how do we see AquaGoat being used in the real world? An example would be nice. So what we would love to do, and we are actively looking into this. I think to allow AquaGoat to be, used in the real world, of course. And so how we're doing that is we're looking at e-commerce integration. So you're going to be able to actually use your AquaGoat to be able to purchase real life things. Now, typically, other projects they might say, "Oh yeah, like here's this store, and you can use your token." But then the in the background, it's like, okay, well, you would have to convert your token to Bitcoin or Litecoin or Ethereum, and then use that to purchase. Whereas for us, we're going to be actually allowing you to directly use your AquaGoat, to be able to purchase things. So I think this is a really important step in, really solidifying us as a legitimate project. And I think this is a really big step, even just, in this kind of emerging market of, yield generating DeFi, is that we're one of the first projects, if not the first, to be able to actually try and get that going, because I have yet to see a project where you can actually use their own native token, to be able to buy real world things. It's always just been, you could use it to purchase an NFT, but that's still digital. We do want it to be a real world use case, and what better than, for you to actually be able to use it by purchasing real world things. That's, the whole point of a currency. It's able for us to bring value, and, as people do see that, and I'm pretty sure as soon as we can get that rolled out and that potential is realized, right, it will drive up the demand, which in turn will help us get to higher valuations. So yeah, with e-commerce integration, that's how we are going to be, moving into, a real world use case, actually as a real cryptocurrency, instead of, just speculation and hype. someone in the Twitch, just because this is related to that e-commerce integration. Somebody asked, what would it look like to have my e-commerce store take AquaGoat? So Steven should have already reached out to you in that chat. So we're looking into this again. This is something that is very, 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 possible. We've already reached out to um, a company that will help us integrate this. So I'm not the one that's in charge of that portion, but I'm sure Steven would be able to help you out with actually being able to get your store be able to take in AquaGoat. So if anybody would like to, if you have an e-commerce store and you are interested in um but I can definitely tell you that this is something that will definitely happen.
Okay, I do see a question on the Twitch that says, "How are you different than SafeMoon?" I think a general consensus is the team kind of makes the crypto. So all of your community makes the crypto. All of your moderators and admins make the crypto. SafeMoon has different moderators, admins, goals, and dreams than we do. We want to really be focused on the charity aspect, make sure we have some long-term investors. I feel like the SafeMoon crowd is probably a little more pump and dump. I would prefer not to have, that kind. I mean, even when I was in SafeMoon, I was the pump and dump kind of crowd. Like I pulled all 30K I made from SafeMoon out all at one time. I don't really want those kind of investors here because I know how bad it does mess up, the market. And I feel like the way we market ourselves, the way that we are kind of handling ourselves in a pretty professional manner in our Discord is a big key to what makes us different. And that we have actual goals to get this into a worldwide thing that is actually changing the world. Like we have, different contacts with different organization that Patrick has been working on with his team. We'll be going pretty far. I do think that SafeMoon has a lot of staying power as far as how popular they've gotten. I do think that they were probably still a decent investment, but I don't think that they're going to be as life-changing, world-changing as AquaGoat's going to be. Is the charity aspect specific to ocean cleanup or what kind of water projects? We are actually pretty open on that. I had someone message me about giving, digging wells for places that didn't have water or easy to drink clean water nearby. I don't see a problem with those kind of charities being mentioned and putting up to a vote for our server polls for who we reach out to. I think anything really dealing with water or goats, you could probably apply to this coin. We do want to kind of keep it specific to our name. So that's why, Aqua for water. I remember when we first had a survey, it was either between the ocean cleanup or feeding goats. and they went with ocean cleanup. So I mean, if you have something that could benefit goats as well, I mean, we're gonna be open to hear that too. Just let us know. Put it in our Discord. We'll put a vote to it if we get once we have a good list down that we're gonna reach out to, and we might reach out to them whether you vote on it or not. We might reach out to all 4 things that you're voting on. We do like to keep our options open in case like one place is going to double our donation, or they're going to post about us in their social media and give us better PR. We do want to consider that in our donation drives.
Someone in Twitch asked, what is the next major goal for AquaGoat and how are we going about to achieving it? So at the moment we are focused on our drive to be able to get onto Coinsbit, right? So we are pushing for the funding on that. We do have some graphics, and we did make an announcement. I'll try to get the wallet address more circulated. Actually, that's on me. But we do need some help funding that. Of course, our pockets aren't deep, right? And for Coinsbit, it's gonna be it's like $10,000, I believe, just to be able to integrate, and our trading pairs are going to be USDT and Ethereum. That's correct, Stephen, right? It's 10K just for the integration. What do we need to provide anything for liquidity?
Yeah, it's only 10K that covers liquidity and listing. I'll have to check to see if we did ETH. I know we did USDT for that one, but I know for Whitebit we told them USDT and ETH.
Coinsbit definitely is, in the short term, that's going to be the exchange that we're currently focused on, to be able to get listed. And with being able to get onto an exchange like that, right? It makes, first of all, it makes the purchasing process a lot easier. I know that all my friends and everybody I've told about, is kind of a hassle to kind of get the wallet set up and do all that BNB like transferring. But now at least with Coinsbit, and getting onto an exchange, it's just as simple as opening an account, loading up your account, and then purchasing so that you can invest. um into the future, we are, am I allowed to talk about the other exchange, Stephen?
Yes, and also you were right. It is ETH and USDT going on Coinsbit.
Okay, perfect. Yeah. So our going into the future, we are already in talks with Whitebit, and I already filled out the information form for them, and we're in talks with Whitebit. So that's still into the future. The price is a bit heftier. It's a $60,000 integration fee plus 20 to 30,000 in liquidity that we would have to provide. So we believe that at least with Coinsbit, we're going to be able to get those new investors. We're going to see those higher evaluations, and as people start to see the promise and potential in the project, right? I believe that we'll be able to get a bit more community involvement as well in helping us be able to afford that exchange listing, because again, this is a community project, and from the beginning, like it's mostly just been the admins that have been contributing to marketing and contributing to be able to spread the word. But now that we're at this point, we want to be able to make it easier, allow the momentum to continue, and we believe that the best way forward is to be able to get those exchange listings. On top of that, we do have that e-commerce integration, like I said, which is it should be pretty soon. I want to say within the next 3 weeks. Essentially, that should be finished, and that, I believe that's a really great step in the right direction, right? Being able to actually have a real use case and not just something that's in the crypto space. Like, of course, we're looking into NFTs, we're looking into the DEX, we're looking into the yield farm, but that's crypto space, and that's very, very concentrated into the crypto world. And I think the best step is to be able to actually have that real world use case, where you can actually use AquaGoat to be able to purchase real world things.
I'm getting questions about other exchanges. We have contacted them, or I've at least filled out their application. We're just kind of waiting on them to get back to us. Coinsbit and CoinTiger and Whitebit have been the first that we have talked to, and we just really wanted to get some big news that could bring new investors in, that the investors that we want, of course, into the community. So that's why we kind of are pulling the trigger on Coinsbit. The admins are trying to front that money, and of course, we're going to take donations into our community wallet. We don't want to have to front every time we want to get listed on an exchange, but we are trying to invest money back into this project. I mean, we do have some bigger wallets, but we want to invest all of that back, or a lot of that back into the project to make sure everybody is making money. It's not just for us to have big wallets that you're going to see, quadrillions coming out of the bank. Like, that's not happening. We're just trying to sell off a little bit here and there so we can fund more into this project. I know I personally have probably given away up to 20 to 30,000 at this point. Like, we want the community to feel excited and to see our longevity here. It's not about our money. It's not about us making billions of dollars. It's about everybody here making a difference and changing how they see the early crypto world.
I do just kind of want to touch on what you said, where like we did sell off just a little bit just to be able to help fund things. Now with regards to like selling, and I say this more as like a investment kind of advice, not financial advice, but like, so let's say if you're already in profit, for anybody that is in profit or was in profit, or let's say we hit another parabolic high, or well, I would hate to see a parabolic high, but let's say like you are in profit, right? Now I do regularly post in the Telegram, and you can check as well, to see like my posts, but just by searching on the search bar. I always recommend never dumping, never selling all in one go. All right, because just think about it. By selling all in one go, you really impact the price really harshly. You really impact the momentum, and it really hurts kind of the investor psychology. You know what I mean? And so I've always constantly said, if you're going to cash out, do so in small increments, just to preserve that momentum, just to be able to preserve the upward growth, and to prevent something as crazy as that parabolic rise. Because of course, you know people weren't incrementally selling. People were waiting for that higher and higher price evaluation, and then when it finally came down to it, it was just a dump, right? And that's the last thing we want, is for this to be a pump and dump. So I've always recommended to anybody and everybody, whenever you're cashing out, to do so incrementally. This is for the benefit of your other investors around you, right? If you dump, it hurts the momentum, and a single like big sale could potentially start a total sell off. And that's the absolute last thing we want, to have a sell off, because then a lot of people get caught, they get hurt, right? Especially with that recent parabolic move coming down from 9.0 to 1.7 to 2.0 level. Like that's terrible to see, and I feel bad for anybody that got caught out as well, right? So just responsible investing, and I guess less selfish investing, and more thinking about it, about the community, right? Think about the other people investing around you, right? Because of course the last thing we want to see is see the community get hurt.
Do we have any other questions?
So right now, like some of the funds are put into like a donation wallet, and then like y'all select one organization with a community poll to vote on where the funds will go. In the future, would it be something more automatic or gamified in order to put to make the donation more dynamic or more um like without any um middleman into it, like no poll, like something more gamified within the app or something like that, within a web app or something like that.
I guess, I mean, I guess we should probably discuss what you mean by gamified. I don't want to do it right this second, because I'm sure everyone wants to speak kind of what they want to speak on. But if you have some ideas about how to do that, I know that there are some discussions about adding, some more use cases similar to apps and things like that. And if you have kind of some suggestions on that front as far as making it a little bit more dynamic, a little bit more of an interesting process, donations. At this time, I haven't had. I know our mods have been telling everyone, if you donate, please send Mercs or me a message, send in your wallet so we can uh, kind of recognize those who donated and give them we'd like to give certain. I've had certain people ask me if they can have similar to Shahar tags on their Telegram that kind of commemorate them as specific type of Aqua Goat members, or in Discord uh, kind of um, roles that kind of commemorate them. And so we are working on ways to uh, give people a sense that, by donating, obviously we're not going to give you Aqua Goat in return for donating, because that would defeat the purpose of donations. But we do want to recognize people for donating. And at this point, I haven't had anyone message me saying, hey, I donated, here's my wallet address so you can confirm. So we haven't really had any success in actually having someone do that. But yeah, if you have besides the suggestion, or besides the kind of recognizing of donors that I just suggested, if you have other suggestions to make it a little more dynamic, to make it a little more gamified, that is something that we're more than happy to utilize your skills and your ideas.
Okay, I see. Thank you. So for my part, basically like this month and for the couple of months there's remaining in my school, like we will learn the basic of developing a smart contract and decentralized application. And little by little, like we will learn to implement more and more features into our dApps. Like first it is to create a smart contract and put it into like um a fake Ethereum network so you can test it. And then it is to link it with JavaScript and Ether.js so that you can communicate with multiple wallets. And then you implement more and more things. So as for the month of May, I'll be able to spam literally my teacher with question, because like he's open to respond to so much question if we are curious enough. So yeah, I can like ask him many stuff like that, like, okay, for example, you can exchange one token for another token that you generate on a swap, so that like it can be a reward for people that stake, or like for people that make a donation, like that can be one way to trace who's donating and whatnot. And maybe then like uh the other thing that you swap with will have a value, or uh it will be I don't know, NFT or something like that. Like we'll have to see, because I'm not familiar with the Binance Smart Chain, but yeah.
Yeah, I see a question here about NFTs for donating. We would love to have NFTs. None of the current team is completely experienced with creation of any NFTs, and we also need really good graphic designers to come on board and help us create NFTs. We've been thinking of like doing a donation, like on our next charity wallet donation drive. We were wanting to possibly give out NFTs for like, gold level donators, silver, have a tier of donations. And that way you could get an exclusive NFT for donating X amount of dollars. That's really what we want to get into. It's just we need more people to kind of help us in that aspect. And we're always looking for more, designers. Otherwise we can just go and pay someone to do it. But I've really liked what comes out of our community when they even when we did have community contests, we had some great images and graphics come out of that contest that I'm definitely going to be using. It's what y'all can make is amazing. I think it's better than just paying for it. And then we can just add, one of 100 for the top 100 donators, and they can all get their exclusive NFTs. And that could possibly gain value in the future, hopefully. And I firmly believe that it will, because AquaGoat's going to be bigger the more drives we do like that.
Just to kind of let everyone know, I think someone may have just contacted me, that they donated. So I certainly appreciate that. It is awesome whether you're donating AquaGoat or Smart Chain BNB. It's much appreciated. I will just let everyone know that obviously, if you do donate AquaGoat, we will be unable to kind of liquidate it, until there's a time when it makes sense for this impact. So we wouldn't want to liquidate it when it would hurt the most or feel the worst for everyone else. So just if you can contribute Smart Chain, if you can, let's just say that, like Patrick said, if you're practicing good risk management and you do see some high volume and we start to move upwards, the goal is not to have everyone try to unload 100% of their wallet all at once. That's not something that any of us are considering doing, and so we would ask the same. Obviously we can't control everyone's wallets, and so we're expecting that that's not going to be the case. But if you do manage to come out with some profit, and you're feeling good about the fact that you have patience to hold, and the wherewithal to contribute your talents and make it happen, then at that point, if you can throw 5%, you double your money, but you can throw 5% back into the donation wallet as Smart Chain, that would be wonderful. Then we don't have to price impact anymore to to get the donation out. But again, you are technically, when you do that, selling too. So there almost is no distinction between us selling from the charity wallet and you selling and donating to the charity wallet. It's just that we don't like to sell because it brings us these questions of, hey, what is this wallet? Why is it selling? And obviously, transparency is the only way we can go about getting donations done. But at the same time, it doesn't matter how transparent we are sometimes, because there's over 10,000 people asking us questions, and they haven't, some of them have not bothered to go find out the answer first or see if there is an answer first. So, if we don't get back to some people in 5 minutes and say this is what it is, they assume it's a rug pull, and it's just 1 minute away. So it really is. I've seen really great projects come crashing down because one person was allowed to just create panic in the chat, whether it be Discord or Telegram, over something as minor as a pancake deployer and a burn address, or in our case, a charity wallet being liquidated incrementally at 1% of the value of the wallet, so that we can donate it to charity. So we want to avoid bringing those questions. And so again, if you can donate Smart Chain, great. If you can't, if you want to, what we were telling people previously is that everyone gets a percentage of all transactions. And so if you're comfortable with donating the percentage that you receive, so let's just say that every day you get about 2 billion Aqua Goat just for holding. And if you want to donate those 2 billion to the donation wallet, that is wonderful, and we would appreciate you for doing that. And I won't ever complain for that. But just know that when we do go to liquidate that, we will be only liquidating that when it will not harm the price. When it will, with high volume times, when we can do it without bringing the price down.
One thing I do want to say is we will be taking AquaGoat donations just because the listings require AquaGoat. So we're going to need 30,000 in AquaGoat in order to be listed on Whitebit for each pair. So it's actually 60,000 in AquaGoat. So for now, I would actually take both, just for that reason. BNB also needs to be, it's good because we need that to pay for the exchange listing as well. It's got to be both, but he's right. We don't want to liquidate all of the AquaGoat. But if you make the AquaGoat community wallet big and it becomes a whale in a sense, it's always going to be taking a percentage of your transactions too. And so it will only get bigger. So I don't see it as big of an issue with donating AquaGoat if you donate your dividends in, just to make that wallet get a little bit more dividends every day, so that we can use it in the future when we do start making it big and start cashing it out and putting that back out into the community.
One day we're gonna have a quadrillion AquaGoat donation wallet, and it's gonna be millions, and we're gonna be donate that, and it's gonna be wonderful.
We'll get a New York Times billboard at that point.
It's gonna be earning $10,000 of interest every day.
Finance soon. If it was like that.
Someone in Twitch asked, how did this coin come to be? Inspiration and etc. So I love the story of how kind of this all kind of came together. So I'll kind of speak from like my perspective. So I got in the first day. I got in like the first 2 hours, and when I came across it, I was just researching through Telegram, looking for a good project to kind of invest in. I always love to be early. Whenever you're early, you're able to make those gains. But when I saw the shill, it really connected to me in the sense that literally for me it was just the name AquaGoat was enough to sell me on it, just because it wasn't another safe project. It wasn't another moon project. It wasn't another Elon clone. So that in itself was already enough for me to kind of get in. Now, I remember still in that first day, I was kind of, I was tapped on to be a chat moderator, and I was like, yeah, sure, I'll be a chat mod. And I formed a group chat for all the mods just so we can all be on the same page. And from that point, it was really organic in the way that the team started operating. It was like, hey, I applied for CoinGecko, I applied for CoinMarketCap. Oh, hey, I'm trying to set up a website for this. Hey, here's a logo. I was able to purchase the rights for the logo, and now we can use it, right? So it was a very organic process. And again, we everybody here started off as an investor. We all started off as investors, and we all volunteered our time, and volunteered ourselves to be able to make this great. And I think that that's the beauty of the community project, right? That's the total definition of a community project. Individuals from the community coming up and coming together to make something out of something, right? Because honestly, like when this started, there was no logo. There was no use case. Like there was no plan of e-commerce integration and NFTs and having a charitable like aspect to it. There was none of that. Absolutely none of it. And so, to have been able to form that team and how it all came together so organically, like I love talking about the story just because it really is the true definition of a community project. Now, I guess inspiration in terms of, what it in itself is, we want this to be in the future like a full-on charitable organization that just so happens to have its root in crypto, right? We want this to be a long-term project. We want it to be an ecological organization into the future where it's constantly making a positive impact, right? And again, that still falls in line with, being a long-term project, not being a pump and dump. We do not want a pump and dump here, and that's why we're trying to move on to, you know trying to reach out to more serious investors, ones that, won't really bat an eye when they see these crazy price fluctuations, where they see, okay, it's pumping to 10x and now it's pulled back 60%, because these guys, those kinds of investors are holding for the long term, right? The last thing we want is to have, like said earlier, have somebody pumping us on TikTok where the market there is, that single day get rich quick, buy in 1 hour, sell in the next, like that's not what we're trying to achieve. We are trying to achieve, something that is here to make a positive impact on our planet into the long term. And on the side of that, anybody who's investing in us is also able to make a profit. And this still, this is why I always say, like, responsible investing, responsible risk management, think about your other community members, always sell in increments, because we do not want to pump and dump. We want that steady organic growth, be able to grow that value, prevent people from getting hurt, and have a positive impact not just on the planet but also to be able to economically empower individuals. I know that people who initially invested in this project, and I love seeing those success stories where they say, wow, like this is life changing, right? And now that we're at over 65,000 holders, we are responsible for 65,000 people's money. And the last thing that we want is to leave these guys in the dust. We do not want to be, you know, letting them down. These guys trusted us with their hard-earned money. You trusted us with your hard-earned money to be able to build it and give it value. And so that's our inspiration, right? Being able to not just positively impact the planet, but also positively impact the 65,000 people and more that are also going to be investing in us.
Do you guys have any targets in regards to holders? I wish I could answer that because like we've said, I think in the earlier part of this AMA is just 2 weeks ago we were at 2% of our holders of this week. So I don't even think I could project what number we could be at next week. I'm sure we're gonna clear 100K holders as soon as we go on a listing. It might go up to 500K. I honestly don't know. It seems to be like kind of a parabolic curve as far as holders go. As our name catches, as more people hear about us, it's just there's more investors interested and more people will start reading into the community or they start reading on the website and start getting their information. I wish I could I don't like to have projections for price and I don't like to have projections for holders because both have surprised me in good ways. And I don't want to accidentally FUD this project by giving you my projection and then not reaching that projection. At the same time, I do think that we are going to go and go parabolic almost when we go to Coinsbit. I just don't know. I don't know how much it's going to affect the holder count or the price amount. Yeah, so I just want to address something on this Twitch chat. I'm seeing a lot of I don't know, it's like people want all these things done, right? And they all want to ask the questions that have been asked repeatedly over the course of this AMA in our Discord, in Telegram. We've answered these questions multiple times throughout the day, but we're getting questions with no real solutions. People want to ask questions and want to know their investment. I get it. This information is very easily found almost anywhere. We're very clear and try to be transparent as possible. The best way to actually help us is putting your time and effort with and helping us change the way people see this crypto. If you're just kind of being negative and asking when CoinGecko, when Binance, when this, when that, it's not a good look for the community and it doesn't help with getting investors in. People are going to read your Twitch comments and be like, why is this guy allowed to just spread FUD through the community? I like to kind of keep these people in there so our community can also answer them and provide clarity as well as we can. But honestly, it's not helpful. If you're welcome to ask questions, you're welcome to be concerned for your investment. But if it's literally just straight negative, the mods are gonna probably talk to you after a little bit and be like, "Look, we're trying to build this coin, and this negativity is just not helping us." We want people to be positive about this coin. We want the first thing they see when they come into the main chat of Discord or the main chat Telegram being everybody happy with their investment. We don't want it to go parabolic, touch 0.09, people buying at 0.09, and then we're now at 0.02, and people are like worried, like, are we a rug pull? Where'd all these people go? We don't. That's why we are not trying to be a pump and dump. We don't want you to feel hurt at all through this investment. Those parabolic things do kind of scare us because we know the answer. We know the questions that are come up right after a dump like this, because we've all been in this for 2 weeks and we've already kind of seen this happen when we went parabolic the first time, hit 15K holders, and then we kind of got stagnant for a little bit. And then we were at 25K, 30K, and then slowly worked our way up to 50, and then all of a sudden, boom, past 50 in a day. That kind of stuff, it's more helpful to be positive, more helpful to maybe make suggestions in a positive way is always going to be taken more kindly from people that are volunteering their time. And I'm not even talking for my own personal sanity. I'm talking for my team's sanity, my moderator sanity, my admin team's sanity in my Discord. Like, they want positivity too because they believe in this. I believe in this. The whole admin team believes in this.
I do just want to touch on that, like for the investors that have kind of suggestions like, hey, you guys should reach out here, or you guys should try this. We're doing our best to be able to kind of hit all targets all at once. We are expanding the team to be able to accommodate those kinds of things, accommodate the growth, accommodate the expansion, so we can continue to grow. But if you see that we are lacking in something, like, say, we need to get our exposure up. w- I mean, if you see it, right, that we're lacking in kind of exposure, so take it upon yourself to share in that exposure, right? It's as simple as tweeting us out on Twitter, making a thoughtful post on Reddit, going on to Crypto Moonshots, going into a Telegram group and just kind of spreading the word, even telling your friends. I found that the best way to really spread the word is to personally tell your friends, your family, your coworkers, and kind of tell them about this opportunity, right? Telling them that, hey, there's this token, you can earn interest, typically much higher than a conventional savings account. I'm not telling you to put like your entire savings in this, but what I'm saying is, compared to an actual, like, high interest savings account, like, when we get those high volume moments, and even just in general, you can expect to actually earn interest at a higher rate than those high interest accounts. And on top of that, it's all for an ecological impact, right? We're all here to not only help others make money, but we're also here to be able to positively impact the world, right? So if you see that, hey, we need exposure, or hey, have you guys like reached out to these guys, feel free to do it for us. It is a community run project after all. If you reach out to an organization and they show their interest, right, let us know. DM us, get at us on Discord, tell us on Telegram, like, hey, these guys are interested, because that's one thing less that we have to worry about. And we're able to dedicate more into the project, and that's also a big help, because something that you may be thinking about, it may not be something that we've actually thought about at all. And so again, as a community project, we really do depend on the efforts of the community. We try our best as much as we can to get as much done on our end, but we can only do so much. And so we really do ask the community, if you have like an idea, right, feel free to pursue it. You can let us know that you're pursuing it. And it would really benefit us, because again, the team is, we're doing all our best. We're kind of stretched in different directions. We've all been losing sleep, losing time with our loved ones. Like Cody's been feeling sick because just like him, like, we've all been sleeping like very little, just to be able to get this thing off the ground and be able to follow up on everything that we're working on, marketing offers, exchange listings, integrations, future use cases. Like, these all take time, and we, outside of, like, our own day jobs, like, we're putting our free time into this. And like, like, for me, I'm putting my time during work. Like, I'm working right now and I'm doing this AMA, right? Like, I'm putting my own even work time into this. Like, I know Steven, he quit his job to be able, like, we're still stretched thin because there's just so many things to do. So as a community, if you see that we're lacking in something, exposure, marketing, feel free to do it for us. Feel free to reach out for us, because it would really help us in the long term. It would really help us, because we do have a lot of things on our plate.
Now, electrical engineer wouldn't quit his career if he didn't believe in something like this, and that could be a lifetime type deal. So it's just not logically feasible.
Yeah, and like, even myself, like, I'm already contemplating even on quitting my job, or decreasing down to a part-time role at my current job, just because, like, I do see the potential, I see the promise in this project, I see what this project is capable of. And like, at the moment, like, my holds, it's not enough to be able to, if I were to cash out, even partially, it's not enough to really allow me to be able to do this long term. But like, if we were to kill like another 0 or go like another 10x, like, and I do take a small portion of my holds, like I would be able to fully commit my time to this, and that's saying something. Very few people would be willing to, like quit that day job, that safe conventional success, to be able to pursue something like this. But I see the potential, and Steven already saw the potential. He's already taken that step, and so again, like we have a lot on our plate. If anybody would like to help, feel free to ask, feel free to do it for us, because it would really be a major benefit for all of us.
Hey, so Twitch question: are you planning to cooperate with any exchanges? This has been covered. I don't. We have Coinsbit and Whitebit in our sites. Coinsbit should be this weekend. Whitebit 2 to 3 weeks maybe, depending on how fast we get that community donation wallet running up for our marketing and exchange listings.
So someone in Twitch asked if we establish short-term, medium goals and significant long-term goals, give a sense of direction. So every, like I said and already said earlier, there are resources available to be able to see these kinds of things. We do have a roadmap that's up and available. Coin.
You're cutting in and out for me, Patrick.
Yeah, same here.
It shows you our audit, it shows you our team, it shows you, how it works, it shows you the roadmap, what we've accomplished, the different phases and what's in those different phases. So, with regards to small, short term, medium term, long term goals, really recommend you do check our site for that roadmap. Now, the roadmap is also fluid. The roadmap was, we released the roadmap draft a few weeks back when this coin was still early, and we allowed the community to kind of browse through it, give their recommendations, give their suggestions. Even I remember that the first roadmap graphic that we got was from the community, and it looked really awesome. We circulated that as well. But again, the roadmap is fluid. We can always add like new things and new integrations, new projects that to work on. If anybody has any suggestions, so just feel free to reach out. But again, we have our resources available on our site and also on Discord. So I really recommend it. If you have any questions about the project, please check those resources first before you do ask, because I can guarantee you, the same question would be asked hundreds of times a day, and we answer that 100 times a day, and it's easier to really just do a simple Google search for our website and be able to answer it yourself.
I got a question on here. Talked about going part-time. What do the devs get out of this in the long run? I know I've mentioned this on previous AMAs. I don't like the term dev, because that's a lot of people assume devs have control over the contract, that we could pull liquidity at any time. We are volunteer admins. What do we get out of this in the long run? Some of us have large investing, some of us don't. That's just, we took a chance. And for me, this was money at the time. I said, yeah, I can lose this. But then I saw that we could actually create something here, and that we could actually build this into something. And this happened on day 2. It took a really rough downturn for a week. I was down, a lot in my investment, probably 50%, 70, 60% in my investment, but we just kept pushing on. And it's almost like a direct correlation. I love seeing the direct correlation between how good we are doing as a team being put up on a chart that I can judge and say, yeah, I think we're doing good here. This is where we can improve on. Is there a percentage for you as a team? No, this is all coming out of our own investments, all of our wallets, all of my giveaways, all of that has been through me as far as my donations back to the community. Patrick has done his own ways. Crypto J has done his own ways. I see other community members in our Discord doing their own giveaways on Twitter. This is the kind of things that's going to make, these are the kind of marketing schemes that are going to spread the word and get other holders invested, because those holders will go spread it to other holders, and then we'll have more people involved in the project. Yeah, so I bought in with on my own cash. Potential of it going up is the reason for the effort to put in there. So I do hope one day to take out a salary, and it's not going to be at at the start, and it's not going to be just wailing out and being like, later guys, I'm pulling the rug on you. That's not anything that we're trying to do here. Like, I want to hold AquaGoat until I'm 100 years old and literally retire off of AquaGoat holdings. That is my goal, and it's not to just wail out and screw over the people that I got into it. I have family in this. I have friends in this. I didn't want to see their investment go to waste in something that was a pump and dump, which is why I am such a big member on this team. I want to see their investment go far. I want to see my investment go far. I want to see this community go really far.
I'll touch on that too, like what at least like on my end, like so like I'll be totally honest, like when I said, when I was looking for a project to invest in, and I'm pretty sure, at the end of the day, when people invest in something, right, we're all looking for a profit at the end of the day. And I'll be honest, like literally that day that I was looking around, I had been rug pulled quite a bit. I was on my last like $100, and I was like, like I need something for some quick cash. I'll be honest there. I'm not worried about being able to say that, but I saw the promise in this. First of all, just the name, the marketability. And now, like, here we are, and I see these life changing things for people where, they say, like, like, I saw somebody say, they had been paying for school fees for like the past, like, almost a decade now, and with this, like, they'll be able to pay that off, and I want to be able to continue, bringing that value and being able to change people's lives with this, because like that's what's driving me. It's not even so much about the money and the profits, like that will come, and that's a part of it. It's cryptocurrency. I make my investment, I get my profit for sure, but for me, what's more rewarding is, being able to impact the planet in a positive way, being able to impact individuals in a positive way by allowing them to, see that life changing amount, and that's what's driving me. That's why, like, like I don't have a big holding being a part of this team, I'm not as big as anybody else, like I guess you could say I'm kind of big, right? Like I am in the top 100. I am somewhat big, but like, still, even like at this price, I cashing out wouldn't make sense, because like, again, I want to be able to do this. It's not even a full cash out. Like, the reason when I say cash out, like I want to cash out like higher market cap, like 10-20x from here, and just pull out like a small amount to be able to fund, like, my bills and stuff for the next, like, 2 months or something. That's what I want to do, so I don't have to worry about, having this job where, I have to split my time between the project. Like, I want to continue being able to work on this to, not just impact the world, but also make that positive impact for our holders.
Okay. I have a question here talking about establishing short-term goals, medium-term goals, long-term goals for the project. Our roadmap is really just a rough draft of what we are planning on doing. And like as we kind of said throughout the AMA, is every time we get a new moderator or admin is a new idea that comes into the chat. A new person with brand new ideas that we want to add to our roadmap and we want to add, but it's more of we need to investigate this, make sure this is an actual thing we can do for this community before we produce it. So a lot of these short-term, medium-term, long-term goals are constantly being worked on. It's more of getting the research done for some of these areas. I know our short-term goals are stuff that I've been more focused on as far as exchange listings, promotion that comes from these listings. That's all been going on short-term. Medium-term is probably more phase 3 of a roadmap, and that I would hope would be within 2 months, maybe even shorter. Long term, look at the stage 4, and then once we get past stage 4, we'll be basically a self-sufficient cryptocurrency. As far as the DEX will basically be making money for you, hopefully, or whatever we put in the NFT exchange, the merchandising, all of that will be basically being made for you, and you'll have a team of admins that can always help and access and lead the charge on community decisions like that.
I want to add to, when it comes to those integrations, and the proceeds that come out of those, I want to make it clear that any proceeds from that will not be going to the team at all, but we will be funneling it into the donation wallet and a very small portion into the marketing wallet. Like we've said again, this is at its core, more of a charity project. We want this to be a charitable organization, right? We do not want to be making a profit, apart from our own investment. Sure, we will make a profit, but at the end of it, the drive is creating that positive impact. So any proceeds from merchandising, any proceeds from the decks, is only just going to be helping us fund our growth, but mostly funding the donation wallet, right? We want to be able to build up that massive whale wallet, being able to have like a few $1,000,000 in there, so we can actually make like a huge impact. We would love to be able to finance like different initiatives. We're much more open than just the ocean cleanup. Like if we could impact the community by like said earlier, like a water well, providing clean water to a community where it's hard for them, or being able to clean up like a whole beach that's like completely polluted, right? Like we would be able to have those the means to do that, right? And so I just want to make sure that when we say these integrations, and if people think about the proceeds that come out of it, we will not be profiting from it at all. The proceeds from that will only be going either to the charity wallet or the development wallet, to be able to further marketing and things like that.
All right, so can I get any actual expectations of what you want us to do to make y'all feel comfortable? Because I am getting Discord messages in here about what are you, what does this mean? What do you intend to do with this project? I feel like the entire AMA covers our intentions. I feel like I have explicitly doxed myself. Patrick has doxed himself. You have our LinkedIn, you have our pictures. People have added me on LinkedIn, and I've been willing to accept them. Like I'm not really sure what we can do to make you trust us, but that is what it boils down to. This is a big trust thing. Our team feels like we are strong. We have many different skill sets. We have great technical leaders. We have great project managers. We have great writers. We have great chemistry even within our team. I wouldn't want to pull out and mess up with any of these guys' money or projects. That's this is a moral obligation at this point. We have 60-something thousand holders. This is a moral obligation to you guys and to us to keep this project going. We want this to be something you trust and something you look back at in a year and be like, yes, AquaGo gave me the money to retire and I helped, change the world. That's really what we're trying to get our community to see and to get y'all motivated to do as well. So if anybody would like to ask a question that we haven't answered that we can be more transparent on, I would love to go over that with you. I'm at this point, I'm almost at a loss as to what more we can do for our community to be more transparent. And we will definitely be having more scheduled AMAs. We're going to have our video faces eventually. This is just, this was our first time on Twitch. We were making sure we had, the technical issue solved. I mean, we are a developing team. I mean, we've been here for 3 weeks and we're still trying to put this project together at the base level and it's working. It's just, we're going to get there and we need the trust and from our investors to help us push to that point.
Hey, could I ask a question?
Of course.
Hey, so like I'm just reiterating a question that I see in the Discord chat about like why I'm just joining on, so I don't know if this question was already answered, but it's what makes this a community project? Like why is it a community project, and what is meant by the word community?
This is Janelle, right?
Yeah, it's me. Sorry, I just came from a doctor's appointment.
I
wanted to make sure that question was addressed.
Yeah, this is a wonderful example right here. So Janelle's came onto the team, not even a week ago maybe, and is already impacting the community. That's what a community project means, is you don't have a team of admins funding the whole thing for you. You don't have a team of developers that have dedicated their entire lives to a project. The community runs this project. You guys run this project. We take votes. We kind of navigate the ship and get you to where you want to go. Sometimes your votes just don't work out, like where we don't have the information at the correct time. We were so worried about getting listed on an exchange to kind of change this trend that we're on right now that we were really ready to, get on with almost the first one that contacted us. And it just happened to be Coinsbit, which is a great exchange to list on. The community part of it is always here. You guys are the community. You guys are talking in the Discord. You guys are talking in the Telegram. You guys are sharing your ideas. You're making memes. You're making images. You're sharing them all over the place. You're trying to get more people invested in this. That's the point of a community project. You're putting funds back into the wallet. You're putting funds back into the community. You are helping us generate revenue to continue increasing your revenue. And any way you can, if it's stepping up as a lead, stepping up as a moderator, stepping up as an admin, stepping up and just making memes. Like, it doesn't really matter what you do. You're a community member. You are a part of this project. You can share this as much as we can. We just kind of steer the ship.
So just to clarify, there's no like CEO, no like person that's like main guy in charge. It's like the whole admin team is a bunch of volunteers who have certain skill sets, and that since this is community run, like everyone who invests in AquaGo can contribute, basically. I just want to make sure that like that's what you're saying.
Essentially, yes, that's exactly what it is you can maybe have more of a say if you do work around the clock like some of the lead admins do at this point. Like as far as like people are going to respect your opinion more in the community leader pool, or after you've been here a time, like maybe your voice gets heard more, or if you're spamming asking about certain things that are actual suggestions in our community Discord, maybe that's people will start listening like to your opinion more or vote with you more. Like it is a community project, and it does help if you kind of build your own repertoire within the community, so you can promote more, because people are going to promote community members stuff that they like within the community, whether it's good stuff or they like that community member. So it's kind of like you can always become a lead, but there are going to be people that are going to watch your kind of butt heads with you at times. Sure, you know, it is a community project. This is almost like, you know, a business, but it's not. Like, we don't have a CEO. We all are equal partners as far as, you know, maybe some of us are more invested or some of us want to put more time into it. But whatever you put time into, we are most likely going to throw out there. Like, if someone wants to make a meme that takes them 5 minutes and it's good, we're going to put on our official Twitter, you know, that kind of stuff.
And then also, what, like, because there are other community coins out there and other like charity coins and stuff. What would set us apart from them? Like, why? What makes us like stand out? Besides how awesome like the goat that is our mascot is.
I think that the fact that we were trying to strictly get into the charity EcoCoin, there's kind of feedback here. What's that? I think the just the prime fact that we started as an EcoCoin that actually has a team that is diverse and has many skills and not just concerned about us making billions and the price pumping to the moon. Like, we actually have goals and dedications to this community. And like I said, we have a moral obligation to you guys that not a lot of crypto people, especially people that run pump and dump cryptos, care about their community. They just want as much money as possible. I don't feel like they were that way. We've reached out to all these different organizations. Janelle, you can even share what you personally worked with, because I know you've been doing a lot of work for this too. As far as, you know, how you've contributed to the community. It's amazing to see everybody come together, and this is what's going to make this project great.
Yeah, sure. I don't mind sharing. I just want to make sure that we're like addressing everyone's questions in the that are posting. But yeah, so an article I just recently wrote an article about Aqua Goat that's going to be published in a newspaper in British Columbia. It's like one of the largest newspapers. We're also going to be interviewed on well, Patrick, not me, but Patrick will be interviewed on I forgot what their channel is, their news channel there, with the Filipino Canadian community as the focus, but like it's gonna show on the Multicultural Network and also like on the Georgia Straight, which is a mainstream newspaper also that that they partner with, and he's also going to be interviewing on a podcast. So these are things where we're not just getting like people who are interested in crypto investing, but we're also looking for like long-term like big investors, like people who are willing to actually like put in like hardcore money into this, which is why we're reaching out like to like the news and not just on social media, you know. I'm also in the process, because I used to work at National Geographic, and I also work with General Electric, and I can't make promises obviously, but like I do have connections with them. I'm trying to like reach out to them to partner with us, you know, and use my connections there. So this is like beyond just social media. I forgot what else I did. Oh yeah, and I made like a how to invest guide for like 2 of them, so that people who are not familiar with cryptocurrency, like let's say you share with like, I don't know, somebody who is not really familiar with investing at all, that guide is like literally a step-by-step for anybody who is like brand new to this. So we're basically like reaching out not just to people who are already in the crypto sphere, but like who like care, you know, and want to be like long-term investors, like you guys have been saying. That's all I can remember that I'm doing. Sorry, I'm driving. I probably shouldn't even be. I'm setting a bad example. But that's all I can think of right now.
Yeah, like, so that kind of stuff is exactly the kind of stuff that it makes this a community project. The fact that, you know, she's stepping in and immediately makes an impact to the team, immediately makes a publication happen, working with her contacts to make this a worldwide thing. That's the difference between, you know, our team and SafeMoon's team or any other crypto out there's team, is we actually care about this. We want this to be massive, and we want it to affect the world in a good way. I see a question in Discord about, you guys said something earlier about this coin having its own market where you can use AquaGoat to buy items. So is it that you're making an exchange for that to happen, or are you applying how Bitcoin, Ethereum in general works with having your own car that you can use in store? So I've actually I'm trying to get in touch with this guy that came through on our Twitch stream just now, asking for my information or asking for how to get Aqua onto his e-commerce exchange. So yeah, we're willing to work with people to get it on their e-commerce to use it as a type of currency. We also plan on having our own merchandising store that we would, outsource as far as distribution and stuff goes. We would put in orders through. I think Jeff kind of has more of an idea on that kind of stuff. But we do have plans for merchandising, and it is since we have been kind of under the gun to get everything else underway. The merchandising hasn't been fully, fleshed out yet, but when it does, it will be where you can buy AquaGoat or use AquaGoat to buy our merchandise. Also, for like the NFT exchange, we do want to have our own exchange. We do have some people on our team that are great software developers that could make an NFT type exchange. Or someone has offered to even look into making a DEX. If not, we can always pay. That's also an option, is to pay for these kinds of things, but these require donations to that community wallet in order to pay out to get these kind of exchanges fulfilled. Especially if you want, like some exchanges don't cost much. It just, it's like a $2,000 fee, and you can get an exchange, bought from some other guy and just outsource it. That's always an option too. We can go that route, but kind of need the opinions of the community or donations from the community on which route to kind of go throughout the process.
Also, in terms of like community driven, like I think like if you are an holder or if you just interested in a project, you can do like your own research into how water is important in so many country or the ocean, and to just gather the information and make proposal with creativity. Like it's when you put faith on the project and bring improvement as if it is an open source project that the project will become greater and greater, I think.
I agree. I was hoping another admin would take over there, but yeah, I do agree. We will work on our communications to the community. It is just we don't want to report stuff when we don't have hard facts to communicate, because we don't want to get your hopes up and then let you down. It almost felt like Whitebit almost hurt us in a way when I said, well, we're talking to them, we'll see what happens. And then people got stoked for Whitebit, and then they came back and said, hey, it's going to be a month later. So I'm sure people sold and they're just waiting for a Whitebit listing. Joke's on them though, because they're going to check back in a month and we'll be already listed on Whitebit for a week. So, that's kind of like we get in contact with things, and it might actually hurt us if we spread that kind of information to our community, because people buy us up just to dump us when something doesn't come through that we thought could maybe happen.
I just want to remind everyone that you should be buying and selling for now version 1 of Pancake, and I'm still seeing some transactions go through on version 2. And so, we should definitely make it clear to people, especially obviously we'll put it in our how-tos or in our how to buy sections, especially in Discord. But we do need to be using version 1 for now, while as the liquidity is there, is built up more so than version 2.
Yeah, I kind of like this idea in the community AMA chat that says to kind of select certain ones to partner up with. Now, my only concern is people are like, so as the community grows, people don't like what the last people voted on, is what I've kind of noticed throughout the community votes. Like, we'll always have kind of pushback from new investors on what old investors voted on. I know the logo has come up. I know the ocean cleanup has even come up, and I do agree that the people we should be donating to should give us big PR, because then it would increase our funding to give out more donations and then get our name out there even more. It's just finding those kind of people. I know that we do have moderators and admins reaching out to these lower, maybe not the biggest charities like the ocean cleanup with a huge market cap, but, to smaller charities that are actually going to spread our name out, that said, hey, AquaGoat donated a huge chunk to us, and this is actually, funding something, like, kind of sponsor an event with them. Could be a possible partnership. We would love to do these kinds of things. It's just trying to select the right one that future voters are going to be happy on, that the old voters decide on. So it's kind of where we're at on that. I would love suggestions as far as, how to make this a little bit easier, what charities to actually go for. We do have a server poll up to give you the next one we're going to do. When we started this project, we said we're going to vote for a new charity every few weeks to kind of switch it up, but we can definitely change that direction if that's where the community wants to go. And if anybody has ideas or anything like that, I would love to hear them. You can post them in main chat, see how much support you get, bring it to me, and then we'll look into it as a team. Or, it's easy as that as far as joining the community.
All right. Is there any other questions? I have been on calls with investors for what feels like 10 hours today. It's actually not that much, but as maybe you can hear in my voice, I'm not well. So there are other things that our admin group needs to do tonight. And I am running on very little sleep. So unless there are other questions, I would like to go ahead and get working on some other things.
Yeah, and if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. A lot of us are going to be a little bit slower on the when CoinGecko questions, because if we feel like we've answered it enough times, we feel any community member can handle that kind of question. But if you do have genuinely new questions or new ideas, I love to see new ideas. I hate seeing win CoinGecko 1,000 times in our chat when it's something we've been working on for a week or two. But I'm always open to new ideas, and you can contact me directly if you want to be a member of the team. If you have any great ideas that we can, share to our marketing team or share to our software development team, we're always open to that. Just we all like, as Cody is saying, we do have stuff to do outside of ensuring our community that their investment is safe. We almost just want you to feel safe in your investment. Just know we're working on it in the background, but we know that's not reality, right? So please feel free to contact us. I try to be as transparent as possible. Patrick is as well. Cody has been, super transparent as far as where our money's going, what are we doing. But I mean, we're all here for you. But we also would like you to be here for us as far as, sometimes in the chat it gets a little crazy and people start creating FUD. I love how our community instantly responds with, don't worry, these guys are handling it. And by then I don't even need to answer because you guys can do it for us. We will be promoting and delegating. Like, I'm promoting Discord community lead so I can start kind of moving away from Discord more into backend administrative stuff. I did take off my job for this. So this is my full-time thing, and I want to manage it almost like you would a company without, having a direct CEO. Like, I want people to be able to make their own decisions. I want people to do what they need to do in order to make this coin succeed. If it aligns with my goals every time, no, I can't say that, but I'm always open to new ideas and what you think can do, make movement in the right direction. I know Patrick is open to, and then like he said, he's trying to get to the point where we can both quit our jobs and do this full time because we love this kind of stuff. This is so much better than my 9-to-5 job. I love interacting with you guys, and I love, answering good questions or taking in great ideas. Sometimes it gets to be a lot, but other times, I mean, it's so much fun hanging out with you guys in the Discord when I can or can have a spare moment to come check and see what's going on.
Someone asked in Twitch, when donating to the charities, will we be providing receipts? I'm unsure if all will trust transfers to the smart chain contract. We do try to provide receipts. The most recent one to the ocean cleanup, we did provide the transaction hashes to the Binance bridge, to the Binance hot wallet for the bridge, and then the associated like receipt transaction for the ocean cleanup. Now, I have reached out to the ocean cleanup to try and get like a donation certificate or like a donation receipt, just so that we can actually have an official documentation from them saying that we did donate. I have yet to really hear back from them. I messaged them like really the right after we finalized the donation. But yes, we do want to provide like an official receipt or an official certificate from the charities that we're working with, just to fully legitimize that. And again, that's also why we'd love to be able to work with kind of smaller organizations where we can make a great impact on them versus like the ocean cleanup where they're a large market cap. Because with our donation, like, we could get some PR, get that exposure, and get that legitimacy that we actually are donating. Because at the moment, I've seen, tons of people saying, oh, like, where's the receipts? I've seen FUD where, people are like, oh, following the transactions, Bitcoin went out to this wallet. And then, we have to be like, hey, like, we've explained this plenty of times, these are the transactions, for going to the Binance bridge, then going to their wallet. But we are looking into getting official receipts and an official certificate to be able to, we'd love to show that off and show that, hey, we did donate to these guys. We did, make a positive impact, and we want to have that legitimate kind of thing to show to our investors that we did do that, rather than, kind of just giving you a transaction hash and, saying it just says transfer Bitcoin and then transferred from that hot wallet to here. Like, I understand it doesn't look that great. It's not really the cleanest, but we are looking into getting official receipts and official certificates from the charities we donate to, so that we can actually show it off and have that legitimacy, and also assure our investors that we're not taking money from anybody and transferring it over. Like, we legitimately are trying to make a positive impact on the planet. Yeah, if there's any more questions at all, again, we're a small team. We have a lot on our plate. Outside of this, like we're just making up some free time to be able to talk with you guys and answer any questions. But we're doing a lot behind the scenes when it comes to development, researching, outreaching to different charities, right? Working on our contacts, like Janelle said, with National Geographic, right? Like there's a lot of things going on behind the scenes that we're working on. So if there aren't any more questions, we would love to be able to continue working on the project. So I guess last call for any remaining questions. Anybody on Twitch? um if you have any questions that you want to get out there, even a question like a comment or a concern, suggestion, anybody on the Discord, if we haven't answered anything that you're wondering about, feel free to type it out, and let us know. Otherwise we will have to get going so we can continue working on the project here. So last call for anybody, if there's anything else that you'd like for us to talk about, share our thoughts on, uh, you know, progress on development, things like that. If there's anything you guys are wondering about, feel free to ask it now.
All right, nothing on Twitch, right?
I do see one person that's like typing in the Discord, so I'm kind of waiting for them to finish their typing because I feel like it may be maybe a question we may be able to answer before we get going.
I will just make one last call. If anyone, or one last kind of call to action. If anyone has skills, I'll keep saying it probably in every AMA and every time I talk to everyone. But if anyone has skills or ideas, or wants to lead a project, it could be a small project, like just like Steven said, creating a meme for 5 minutes and posing it to get used for a Twitter post or something. Or, as someone suggested earlier, a larger drive for um, building an app, or a donation drive to make it a little more gamified, a little more interesting, a little more rewarding. Um, you know, you don't have to be an admin. If you'd like to be an admin, if you'd like to be a moderator, an admin, more than happy to consider you, but you don't have to be an admin to assist or contribute. Anyone can get their buddy, get another investor, or do it themselves and just say, hey, I want to work on this specific project. It's just going to take me 24 hours or 48 hours, or it's going to take me a week, and I'll get back to you once I have some progress. Perfectly fine. That'd be great. So, I will just make one last call to action. If anyone has ideas or wants to do something like that, or wants to be involved in some more, greater capacity than how they are now, even if it's 1 hour out of your week, we're more than happy to accommodate and consider you.
Awesome. So I guess with that being said, we'll probably wrap up the AMA here, everybody. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your days to join us, be willing to learn a bit more about the project, be willing to hang out with us. Thank you to the team, right, for taking the time out of your day to be able to get with the community and be able to answer any questions or hear out any suggestions, alleviate any concerns about the project. If anybody else does have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. Our DMs are open. You can find us on Discord. You can find us on Telegram. Discord's probably going to be the best though, because Telegram is pretty, gets pretty busy. So do recommend you guys to check out our Discord. We have tons of resources there. We have an amazing community. Not to put anything on the Telegram. Telegram is also an amazing community, but Discord is a bit more organized. So you'll be able to find out a lot of answers there. And we do have a questions channel. So if you do have any remaining questions, we also have an FAQ there. So if your question is not answered by the FAQ, please reach out in the questions channel in our Discord, and we'll be more than happy to answer, or just hit up our DMs, and we'd love to get in touch with you guys. But other than that, we will get going. There's so much more left to do in this project. It's literally just the beginning. And so we'd love to be able to keep on growing this, to be able to bring you guys more value, and also be able to continue impacting our planet in a positive way. So with that being said, I hope everybody has a good day, good night, wherever you guys are in the rest of the world. Thank you so much for joining us, and thank you so much for supporting AquaGo. It really does mean a lot to us. Thank you.
Thank you guys. I appreciate y'all learning about your investment. We do hope to have an AMA like this more frequently. We'll get back to you on an actual schedule. But we hope to catch y'all at the next one.
Thank you.